All right, welcome to my channel. I am here in Denmark at the Audio Group Denmark factory. We are going to do a couple of cable evaluations. Fritz here, who leads the design of Anzu's cables here at the factory, is going to walk us through what you gain as we go up each level, each model of cable that they build here. Welcome to my channel, Fritz, for the first time.
Well,
Pleasure having you.
And so much welcome to Denmark.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Amazing country, amazing people.
Glad you liked it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us what we have here.
Yeah, well, we're going to listen to the different levels of Anzus cables. And we're doing that pretty easily by just replacing the most important component of your system every time. That means your first power cord.
Oh,
the one going from the wall socket to our distribution bar.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you do believe that's the most important one?
That's the most important one, definitely. That's how you set the bar for the rest of what your system can do. Okay. Definitely. If you make a mistake here, it doesn't mean a good thing to invest a lot of money in speakers and electronics because everything started out in a way handicapped. Mm-hmm. So we want to improve that. And there you have to kind of trust me when I tell you that the differences you get from the power cord will be the same if we did it to the speaker wires or the interconnects or the digital cables. The steps will be exactly the same. But I'm not gonna, that will take like 2 days to go through all the different types of cables and so on. So we just stick to that power cord.
Okay.
And then we run it from our new cables, the new lines of cables, up through the range.
All right.
And what I'm gonna show you as well is, I think you will probably think that it would be the other way around, but actually the steps will get higher and higher the higher up we go.
Okay, and then we're starting with which cable then?
We are starting with the XTC.
Okay.
So this one is sort of the lowest level next after the X3.
Okay.
You heard the X3 upstairs.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So this is the cable we're going to listen to, and then you'll make the swap. This is feeding our integrated, correct?
What we got here is our streamer DAC 880.
Got it.
And our I880, the integrated amp. And then we got our distribution bar. We start with the A3 mains 8. Right. And then we have our internet switch and our power box. So we got a system where all the rest of the cables are the D3.
Okay.
Also the new line of cables.
But we are replacing which power cord? The one feeding this?
That one, one going directly into the distribution box.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So the one that's feeding the distribution box, I was just a little confused. I didn't know if it would be the one being used on the integrated or the DAC. So, but it's clear now that that's the main cable that will affect this. Certainly everything plugged into it.
Everything.
So, I'm excited to see and do this.
Let's try and do that.
All right.
Should we have the audience in again?
My audience is here. They want me to sit, and I guess they want to hear a little bit of what's going on. In case you're wondering, okay, I am using a microphone in mono mode, and he has the other microphone in mono mode. So you're not going to get a stereo effect. Simply because it's hard to really gauge, what changes on YouTube. But we're going to do the best we can with what we got here. So thank you for joining me. Hit the like button, guys. Please subscribe.
Let me just see how much Lars have changed while he was in here. He likes to fiddle around with all my setups.
Well, luckily, we can edit this out, so it's all good.
Yeah, he did that again.
Yeah, we'll be editing a lot of the fat on the video that we don't need.
Okay.
All right.
I think we are close to ready.
And before we forget, which speakers are these? We didn't mention the speakers.
These ones are the C3. So that's the speakers that will come out in around August.
All right, cool. Yeah. So you're watching, you're looking at the very first time you are seeing the C3 Boris and loudspeakers to be unveiled in August of this year. So first glance, first look here, Jay's Audio Lab. So let's see what these speakers do along with the rest of the AVIC and Anzus lineup. Yeah. Very excited.
Are we ready to go?
We are ready. She is.
Here goes.
gentle soldier meant for depression is a virus that can undermine us. Heroes never cry. Headaches, spend all, work hard, spend all. Character assassination, an inverted face. The enemy is us. Hero, I could never make you love me. Hero, I could never make you love me. I could never make you love me. Clear the way, not the mind. Teach the walk.
Okay. So
Okay. First listening session is done.
that
Cable.
was the XTC3.
MSRP on this power cord is?
The what?
MSRP on this power cord that you're replacing?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe you can help me.
2,000-ish, okay? And we're moving up to the
Then we are moving up to the A3.
A3, okay?
And that means that also the plugs are being changed now. Now we are no longer using aluminum. We are more and more stepping away from using aluminum anywhere because of the tone of aluminum and because of the hysteresis effect that are slowing down everything. And when we go to the A2, you get copper housing now, pure copper.
Dutch.
A3.
What did I say?
A2.
Sorry, A3.
And this power cord has an MSRP of, Mike, Tyler? How much is this one?
This one's about 3,000.
Okay, so it's about a 50% increase on the other one. Okay. Swap has taken place. We're moving to copper.
We just need the streamer to get connected to the wall.
Yeah.
So this one's 2,800 J.
2,800, okay. We went from a $2,000 power cord to a $2,800 power cord, and the name is the A3 power cord.
Yes. Here goes again.
Hard face, gentle soldier meant for depression is a virus that can undermine us. Heroes never cry. Headaches, spend all, work hard, spend all. Character assassination, an inverted face. The enemy is us. Hero, I could never make you love me. Hero, I could never make you love me. I could never make you love me. Clear the way.
So what I heard was the height of the soundstage is definitely more enhanced. So I felt the speakers get taller, and also the depth is definitely superior here. A little more focused too, I dare to say. Even though I know the cable needs time to settle, we know that the cable is literally we just plugged it in. So if you leave it on for a few hours playing music, it's only gonna get that much better. But there's definitely an improvement. Namely, for me, the biggest changes were the depth and the height of the speakers. So, yeah,
Okay.
definitely there. All right, so
Yeah.
we're moving on to,
Yeah, we'll play a new track and then we'll move on to the C3.
all right. So, great.
I feel like a sculpture. No hands, no lips. here for. All I can do is work what I do, opens another door. Hard time accepting I will not be loved for what I do. It's a battle between doing for me, doing for them, doing for you. I try not to be me.
Yeah.
Great song.
You
So
liked
now-
it?
Yeah, yeah. We're moving to the C3 now, correct?
Yep, we are.
And this is how much? If it follows the MSRP of the C2, which I have, it'll be about $4,000, I think, or something like that. 45, maybe.
It is 5,100.
Oh, I got
All right, so I wasn't too far off. This is a new model, so. All right, so here we go with a $5,000 Powercord, where I think things begin to get interesting, and I dare to say that the C series power cords might be probably the sweet spot, where you might be getting the most performance for the money. Not to say that they're going to outperform the more expensive models, but I think this is a good stopping point for a lot of people. I tried a lot of them, and I love the C2.
You okay?
I still have a C2, as a matter of fact. It was really, really a good power
Have you
cord.
tried the D3
Never.
or the D2?
That I have not, no.
So let's see what happens.
Let's see what takes place. Great clarity, by the way. The song is really allowing me to gauge what's happening.
Good. And try and follow what happens to the noise floor now.
Okay. $2,800 power cord replaced by a $5,100 power cord. So let's see what we get for the added expense. Try to do the best I can here. Excuse me.
I feel like a sculpture. No hands, no legs. I reach out, but I cannot touch you. Doubt creeps in my mind. I question what I am here for. All I can do is hope what I do opens another door. Hard time accepting I will not be loved for what I do. It's a battle between.
Well, the biggest immediate change that I noticed with only, 90 seconds was the impact, the bass. I felt it just a lot more robust, more muscular. And I dare to say there was an increase in the soundstage as well. The expansion of the soundstage is superior to what I heard on the other cable. But again, that tightness of that bass, it just, all of a sudden I felt like it was tapping on my feet. Like the bass was really, it took a different form.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see if the D3 is better.
All right, yeah. I love it. The D3 goes up to what, $10,000? What's
Yeah, I think it gets up there. I'm looking it up.
It's
that's
in
when
that
it
area.
starts. That's when it starts to get really up there. Okay, but in the ultra high end, that's what comes with it.
12,800.
$12,000. So we're gonna go up to a power cord that is over twice the money of the C3.
And it's actually our most sold line of cables.
D.
That's the D.
Okay. And I think the Ds have like some sort of a connector as well that the plugs.
What we introduced with the C3, and you get twice as much in the D3, our anti-aerial resonance coil system. That means that we, in a way, take the length out of the cable. I know it sounds a little abstract, but that's actually what we're doing. And that means that we are getting the cable to be a very, very bad antenna. So it's not receiving the same amount of high frequency noise that all the other cables are. Because we are sort of trying to get the noise out everywhere in the system. And it all starts with the cables because they are, in a way, big antennas. You remember in the old days where your mobile phone said diggy-dig, diggy-dig, diggy-dig in your system. They don't do that anymore because now the frequencies on telephones are a lot higher. So you get this haze covering anything instead. So we are trying to suppress that.
Yeah.
So we get more
Backgrounds.
more black
backgrounds, yeah.
to everything. And that also means that we expand the dynamics in your system.
Yeah.
And we get that from the C series, but you get twice as much in the D series. So you can easily follow that the noise floor are dropping quite substantial and the dynamics are expanding as well. But let's hear it. We start out with the C3 again.
Okay, let's do the C3 again.
Let's just stop it right now.
Okay.
So, D3. Now you see you get this in both ends.
Right.
With the C, you only had it in one end.
That's the anti-aerial stuff?
Yeah, it is. And kind of taking the length of the cable out of the equation also means that you cannot have any resonances inside the cable because it has to have two ends, kind of to bounce between those two ends. It's not so that, of course, we can take the end away, but we can sort of bleed it out by having several different lengths of cables out in those ends, consisting of a coil system.
Mentioning on the topic of bang for buck, for Ansys cables, the base cables for the third generation, the base price for the 1 meter cable is about the same as it was for the second gen.
Yeah,
But the price per additional meter has become much more affordable.
yeah, exactly. And we like longer cables. We try not to use 1 meter cables. It's not that bad when you have the anti-aerial resonance coil system. But on normal cables, people think in many cases that shorter cables are better. But that means that you will receive better the high frequencies because the antenna is shorter. It also means that your resonances inside the cables get more harsh. So go for at least 2 meter cables. That's our advice. Here we go again.
There's more three-dimensionality, more bloom to the music. And what you said about the background, the background being super dark, it illuminates the smallest details that may have been there. To me, with this cable, it kind of feels as if you have a light now over those small nuances that are not as apparent with the other cables, perhaps. That doesn't mean they don't exist with the other cables. It just feels like the cleaner the presentation and the lower the noise, now you have the ability to hear things that are happening before that you just don't pay attention to when there's a lot more noise. This is something that I have also discovered with some of the stuff that I have at home too. So there's so much more music behind the music that we hear. There's so much more happening. Okay, so now we're going.
Now we are getting serious.
So we are going to try now at this point the AK-47. We are removing the 9mm from the outlet, and we're gonna go with the big boys, the big stuff now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking at now?
So now we are looking at the DTC series. So that means that we're gonna listen to the new DTC3, DTC3 Supreme, DTC3 Gold Signature. And now we're getting into the really big steps in quality.
What about price points, Tyler?
A little bit upwards.
Yeah, it gets up there. I'll look it up here. You know, one thing too, I think you and your viewers might appreciate knowing this. You know, we always say, and I know it resonates with AGD, is in cabling, put your most money in that first power cord. And
Yeah.
as long as you have good quality cascading behind it, meaning maybe you have an X3, right? Like maybe you have more of our basic cables behind it, but in that first cable, that sets the signature for the system. So that's why I think this demo is really impactful, because we're not changing what the preamp is getting fed. We're not changing what the streamer is getting fed. We're just changing that one cord. So for a lot of people, that's a good pathway, is to put your biggest investment in that first power cord.
Yeah. Without saying that the power cord for the preamp or the power amp or the streamer doesn't matter, because they still do. We could kind of continue this by changing the other cables as well.
Yeah, so what happens, Jay, is it's a cascading effect. So to Fritz's point, customer will, let's say they have a C3, for example, and then next year they get a bonus or they want to treat their system. They'll say buy a D3, they'll put that where the C3 was, and then they'll move the C3 power cord to their next most important component, which is always your volume control. So in this case, it's an integrated. So you can kind of constantly upgrade your system with just one power cord, but get multiple upgrades done at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Makes
Yeah.
sense, yeah.
All right, so price-wise, now we're getting, as Fritz said, it gets a little crazy. We start at 26,400 for the next grade.
Yeah. So we are still with the D3, and now I think you should listen what just happens to simply a voice. This is a female voice. I'm sure you know her.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a over the rainbow, skies of blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. One day I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Yeah. We have to stop somewhere.
Okay.
Kind of something else interesting in the higher end cables, the real high end cables, is the minimum length, because of the construction and the performance, is 2 meter. So you don't even have the ability to get the really high end cables in 1 meter. So that's how important length really matters to these guys, and also needed for the amount of technology built into it.
And now you're getting a lot of technology, because now you get these boxes. And they are not just simply filled with air or coils or anything else. They are active circuitries in there to lower the noise floor, expand the dynamics. So you get a lot of the same technology that sits in some of our AVIC electronics, and we are also starting to incorporate it in some of our more expensive speakers, like in the M series. But now you get it directly in the cable, and that's actually where it works the best. It would have been faster with a turntable now. Yeah, we're ready.
Some wheel for the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I had once in a lullaby. Some wheel for the rainbow, skies so blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. One day I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Yeah, it's certainly an improvement. I mean, it's every time you've moved to the next cable, there's more things that are happening, and sometimes it's very hard to even articulate because there's so much more information.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of like following the same idea, which is continue to reduce the noise, and more things will happen. Someone told me it's a guy that builds a lot of heavy grounding boxes. He said to me, the sweetest part of the music is actually way back, way behind. When you ground everything, you get to hear even more emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more.
It is a lot about emotion. It's about getting closer to the artist.
Yep.
And you hear that even the audience sounds better. Mm-hmm. And now you can hear sort of the noise of the recording itself.
Yep.
And that also means that it's like, when you're standing in the middle of a big city and trying to look at the small stars up there. They're not there. But when you move to a deserted island where the sky is black, there's a whole lot of stars up there.
That's a very good way.
It's more or less
analogy.
the same type of information you are getting through now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Michael once gave me an analogy that I think really resonates. Jay, he said, back in the old day, you had tone controls, right? You had a bass and a treble.
Yeah.
And because it's kind of hard to explain what you're experiencing, right? So he said, imagine there's a third tone control on your preamp, and that would be music. And so as you add more ANSUS into the system, you kind of just turn up that musical tone control a little bit because it's more of the same.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're just turning up the music tone.
I also think that you hit sort of the idea behind ANSUS pretty well, because we never changed the tonality. Mm-hmm. In a way, you can say that all the cables sounds the same.
Yeah.
You're just getting more and more and more and more of what you liked already.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. More music, yeah. And we want more music. So, a voice that you might be familiar with. Here comes a male guy.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel I focused on the pain. The only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting. I tried to kill it all away, but I remembered everything. What have I become? My sweetest friends, everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
That was The Ghost.
That was a great song.
Yeah.
So which one's next, Fritz?
The what?
Which one's next? Is it the DTC?
Now, of course, we go to Supreme, DTC3 Supreme.
What are some of the technological differences?
There's simply a lot more of the same technologies inside the Supreme cables. And we also got more of those coils sitting in the cable.
Okay.
And also the mechanics.
The mechanics as well, yeah. And now all the housing on the plugs are titanium when we are in the DTC lines. But I think by now, Jay, you kind of know what is going to happen.
Yeah,
What we
absolutely.
expect to hear. No joking on the back row. Yeah. Let's see who appears now.
I heard myself today to see if I still feel. I focused on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting. I tried to kill it all away, but I remembered everything. What have I become? My sweetest friends, everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
imaging is definitely next level. I think the instruments just separate it better. The intro when he starts to sing, I felt more focus on the mid-range as well. It's crazy because these are deficiencies that I don't really pick up on the cables prior. Right, so it's hard because you don't know, well, this sounds amazing until you hear the next level up. Then you realize, shit, it wasn't as amazing as I thought it was, or it was great, but not as great as I thought it could have been.
No.
That's what sucks about hearing something that later you can't unhear. Right? That's what's sad about this. So it's really difficult. I mean, and right now, I think you have one, that's the last cable, or one left?
There's one left, so we can still make a big
for
jump
me,
upwards.
You see what I'm saying? And so I don't know what's deficient about the presentation right now with that cable. To me, it's just phenomenal. But then that next cable is going to come and school me as to like what is going to. Well, I mean, let me fix what you're not hearing that's broken right now.
I think in a way you can say that what we're doing with the cables is kind of power conditioning, with all the negative stuff left out. Because instead of taking out the dynamics, we are expanding dynamics. We are giving you more details, but we are giving you this very black background to the music. So yes.
And that's the big boy, Tyler? The last one?
Last one is the gold signature, and it is
Woo!
It is an investment.
Look at that, the gold one.
Yeah, let me give you the exact.
That is serious. I'm gonna get 60,000.
68,000.
68,000.
It starts at 3 meter length.
So 68,000 for a 3 meter.
Yep. To not get it shorter, construction wise.
Right. That is.
But it is
serious.
an investment, but it's a clever investment because everything in your system improves.
Yeah.
It's not just one component that has been lifted in performance. It's all the components in the system.
The follow, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a speaker upgrade.
that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, that's why there are levels, right? With this line, that's why there are levels.
So, okay, the most important step of today, I'll give you a pretty interesting Danish band here. They're called Efterklang.
I'm not going to try to repeat that.
Ah, come on.
Wow.
Look into the future, mountains, everything else is a stray. Chewing on the past, an ocean, everything else is a phase. Let me into your heart. Let me open your eyes. Only time can stand the change. Bring it out of an empty space. Let me into your heart. We're mountains apart.
here. When you take out noise, you also take away stress from your head. That makes it so much easier to focus and pick up all the small details in the music. And there was definitely a lot of details in this track. But let me see how much more we can find. Come on, Mikkel. We have seen all your dots. Mikkel is our software guy, so it's actually him asking us to wait. Here goes.
That's a huge improvement right there. That
Was I right
That's
about
huge.
the steps?
That's a huge improvement right there. Wow.
Look into the future, mountains, everything else is a stray. Chewing on the past, an ocean, everything else is a phase. Let me into your heart. Let me open your eyes. Only time can stand the change. Bring it out of an empty space. Let me into your heart. We're mountains apart. Only love can find the way, giving birth to whatever we can.
Yeah, that was brutal because you realize, unfortunately, the price is what it is, but it's just like somebody gave you a different set of ears. Like the articulation is phenomenal. It almost feels as if I went from a quality 1080p signal to a 4K. Like that's what the feeling is in terms of the sound. It's really highly resolving and no fatigue whatsoever. And the clarity, of course, is enhanced. I mean, but what's interesting is it's all going through a power conditioner, right? So the rest of the cables remain the same. So it makes me wonder and ask you all, my audience, should you be just buying an all-out cable power cord for your power conditioner and use that, the best cable you can afford, and then kind of water down the models that follow? Because I know it would be an expensive proposition for a lot of people to have 6 power cords that are that kind of price, but even for me, it would be a tremendous investment. So, you know, it makes me wonder if that's the way to go. It's just buy the best power cord you can afford for that power conditioner.
I agree.
Right? It's a good, you know, it maybe, for example, some people may have, let's just say 60,000 for, as an example, I don't know, $10,000 power cord. So that would be what, the D series, I believe,
Yeah.
the D, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at 6 of those at 60 grand, or should you do, you know, perhaps the big boy one, and then I don't know. I wonder if the big boy would transform the components that follow when you go through the power conditioner. I don't know. That would be a good experiment. Meaning, what happens if we use a $60,000 power cord into the unit, but we only keep stock power cords on the rest?
You cannot do that.
What do you think would
But you
happen?
kind of have to balance it out.
Right, of course.
And that's what you normally would do. You know, if the analog rig is your main components, then you'll put the more expensive power cords there and downgrade on the digital or whatever setup you want to do.
Okay.
But it also, like Tyler said, that next time you take an investment, you put it on the first power cord and place the other one to go to your integrated amp or your preamp.
Okay, so if you have 100 grand to spend on power cords, are you saying that, in your opinion, do you do a $60,000 power cord and then let's say 4 that are whatever, or 5 that are, let's say, the C models?
If you need,
or as opposed to,
if you need 5, then I probably wouldn't spend the 60 on the first one. Then I'll downgrade that a bit.
Okay.
Upgrade the other a bit.
Got it.
So again, you kind of balance it out.
Okay, makes sense.
But we don't use a power conditioner.
So what do you guys call that?
This is a power and a ground distributor.
Okay.
Where we use the same technology as we use in the cables.
Okay.
So that means that you could call it a power conditioner, but we don't, because in normal power conditioners we don't really like, because they kind of take out a lot of dynamics from
Agreed.
the system.
Yes, I've noticed
These
that.
ones do not do that. They expand the dynamics, and they also offer your whole system a great grounding, because we got very powerful grounding connectors in all the cables and a very strong star grounding point in all the mains 8s.
Got you.
So you don't need any extra grounding boxes or networks. It's built into it. That was one of the main idea for the very first ANSYS cables that Michael designed, grounding. And I can also show you what happens if you don't take care of the mechanical grounding, how dangerous that is.
Okay.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God. Here goes.
But he's going to ruin the system.
I'm going to ruin the system completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to do.
You can see that the mains 8, we are only using the A3 out there, but that's still a great box. It's standing on darks, our resonance controlling feet, that again are standing on a composite shelf, that are again standing on darks and connected to our titanium rack. The first thing I'm going to do now is take out just one level of the darks.
Okay.
And then let's see what happens. So we want music, at least this jazz track, to be very funky. Let's see if it remains funky.
All right.
Here we are, 15 years later. Big Ducky CD. My white people are still messing with my money. I can't stand it.
Don't you be fooling with my money. Don't you be messing with me.
Yeah. So,
When you do this.
I love to do it. But you cannot live with the system once you're taking these out. So that was just one layer. That was 4 Ansus darks. And then we see how funky it is now.
Here we are, 15 years later.
He fell asleep.
Why people still messing with my money? I can't stand it.
Where's his sloppy, man?
Don't you be fooling.
And then let's try and do like a lot of people do, because they don't want to invest in a shelf for the distributor. So they put it behind the rack, on the floor,
Okay.
and now you have completely killed the whole system.
Here we are, 15 years later. Big Donkey CD. Why people still messing with my money? I can't stand it.
Don't you be fooling with my money. Don't you be messing with me.
Stop, Fritz.
It's great now.
Don't ruin
No,
the
it's
system.
totally dead.
You have ruined my day now.
But you know, Lars, that you see a lot of serious companies putting all their very expensive amplifiers directly on the carpet. And this is what happens. We need resonance control. We don't need absorption, because absorption will only make it even worse, because it will try to take out your vibrations. But of course, if you have a soft material, it absorbs at first and then it releases it again, straight into where it came from, out of timing, out of phase. So now you got resonances, which is a lot worse. So now we're back. He came to life again, I hope.
Here we are, 15 years later. Big Donkey CD. Why people still messing with my money? I can't stand it.
That's crazy.
Don't you be fooling with my money. Don't you be messing with me. Ain't a thing funny about my money. Don't you be messing with me. Get back.
Don't get funny with my...
Don't get funny.
I was really stunned. That was
Isn't that good fun?
It's a lot of fun. Absolutely.
So it all starts with grounding, mechanical grounding and electrical grounding. If you don't do that right, forget about it.
Yeah, I heard the change and the lack of organization when you took it off the shelf. It felt a little more smeared, actually. That's the word.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
smeared.
Yeah.
Definitely felt the refinement fell. Yeah, it feels it's just a lot more scrambled. Yeah, and you don't really feel that because it's like anything, you get used to good and bad.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get used
yeah.
to a bad car because
yeah.
that's all you're driving. And
Yeah.
the moment you get into something better, you realize I can't
You
go
know,
back to what
yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it's about reference points.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting because, I mean, we're playing through the $38,000 C3s, I believe they are, right?
Yeah.
Imagine they're able to still tell you the truth. So imagine if those speakers were, let's call M3s. Those
yeah.
even get closer
Yeah.
to the action. It will
Yeah.
even put you even closer, a couple of rows closer to what's
Yeah.
happening, right? So
But those changes we have made today, you would hear on any system.
for sure, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, for sure, yeah. It's definitely, the truth. So, well, it's a great experience. Amazing. Thank
to
you.
hear that.
Having fun
Thank you.
here in Denmark with the guys at the audio group Denmark. So stay tuned for more, guys. Talk to you soon.